It's Sunday, it's 5 to 5 in the morning, and I've got my VW Mojo back.
He has mojo.
Which I'm really pleased about. So I'm really keen to get on with this bug. Right, so what's going on here? What I worked out was I haven't really been getting stuck into this or getting on with much because I haven't had the motivation. And the reason for that, well, there's several reasons really, but mainly because I haven't really committed. I haven't really committed and got stuck in. So that's what I've just done now. The other thing also which was sort of f***ing me off was the window situation. The old doors had one-piece windows in them which were electric, and they've never really worked properly, so I've been trying to sort them out. And what I've done now is I've actually got some original doors with all the original window winders and quarter lights and stuff, so they're going in. I've just hung that door on there now just to make sure it fits before I order the other little bits and pieces I need to get the windows working, so that's all good. And the other thing was the paintwork on it. It hasn't got patina, it's just crap and beaten up because it's fiberglass. But I've been inspired by a YouTube video and I have a plan for the paintwork, because I don't actually have a nice workshop or shed either. That is the other thing which was sort of putting me off. This is something that makes it hard for me to get motivated to actually get my arse in gear and do this look. But this channel is about enjoying the journey and using the resources that you have. So I'm getting on with it, and I'm really enjoying it at this level as well. I do have a plan for a workshop. I might tell you about that in this video or another video. Yeah, I was inspired by a video about paintwork and doing a budget paint job, and I don't have a big budget for this at this stage, and I do have limited tools and resources here. So I'm going to show you that you don't need all the expensive tools, you don't need the workshop and stuff like that to actually get on and give it a good go. Because that's the other thing what really puts people off, is they see all these amazing videos on YouTube with these people with these great nice workshops and flash equipment doing awesome things, and they are doing awesome things, and it puts people off because they're not at that level. But you don't have to be at that level. But anyway, I've stripped all this down and got committed so that I can actually get into stuff, so I can see what needs doing. I can actually paint things, repair things, make things good again. I'm going to have to get stuck into things like this. I've taken the bonnet off because it's got rust in it I want to repair. I'm going to have to make a new dashboard for it because it's got electric window switches in it, a horrible stereo. I'm not sure what to do about the stereo because I want to try and keep everything looking old and vintage like it is. But that's where we're at. I've torn it down, and it's going to give me motivation to actually get stuck in, do the paint work, clean it up, paint everything. And then once you've got a nice base, like a half decent paint job, and especially things like the interior and stuff are all painted and sorted out, then you've got a really nice canvas to work with, and you can just gradually add bits and improve bits and build it up from there. But when you're just messing about doing little bits and pieces here and there, it's really not very inspiring and it's tedious. So I think that's what's been putting me off as well, because I really haven't got committed and got stuck into it like I have now. So for now I'm going to repair this bonnet. It's got a nice bit of rust there, look. I really want a fiberglass one with the nice rounded bits here. This is just a standard bonnet which has been cut down. So I might actually repair this and even put some of the round bits in there so I can use this to take a mould and make a fiberglass one myself. But that's probably going to be another job after it's actually back on the road again. I'm looking forward to that because once it's back on the road I'm going to do so much stuff to it gradually. It's great having a bug in your life. Well, actually, VWs are so simple. That's why I've actually torn into it. They're fun. And doing this actually reminds me of when I was young, when I used to actually work on my yellow Beetle Baja Bug every weekend, and then evenings when I used to get home from work. And Saturdays was magical. And this reminds me of them magical Saturdays. When I first got this bug, it was, well, nearly exactly 20 years ago actually. It took me 6 months to get on the road. It didn't have any windows in it or wiring loom or anything. I had to sort all that out myself. It didn't have lights on it. And I just got to the country. I didn't have a car. So what I was doing is I was getting all the bits and pieces I needed when I was out on road test. And getting the bus to and fro from work. And then getting home from work and working on the bug. And it took me 6 months to get it on the road. And now 20 years later, after it's been laid up for 10 years or so, it's coming back. Like I said before, I had commitment issues because I wasn't committed enough. And when I first got to the country, this was my first car, I was looking around for second-hand cars and they were really expensive over here. But the Baja Bug come along for 500 bucks, but it had no windows, no wiring loom stuff like I said before. So I had to get it on the road and do all that. But I did really have limited resources. The only thing I actually went out and bought was my VW gasless MIG welder, which has served me so well all these years, even up until now. It was probably one of the best things I've ever bought. But the quality of welding wasn't that good. And I had to be very, very resourceful with the bits and pieces I used for it. I didn't have, well, I had a shed worse than this actually to work in when I did it. But I just needed to get on the road, so the quality of stuff I did and the plans I had to make were a little bit different. And I did rewire it all myself. I built a fuse box and stuff like that. But I'm not happy with it 20 years later. It's done well. So I'm actually really committed now. Now I've got this far, I'm even more committed because I keep seeing things and I think I want to do this better. So I am going to commit. I'm going to. Oh, that's a big wire. That is a big wire, right? I'm going to. I need to get some new side cutters, I reckon. That's what I need to do. But I'm going to commit. I'm going to start again. I am actually going to leave the wiring loom what goes to the back of the car in because I did buy that brand new, so wires, they're not too bad. I don't know where they go now because I've just snipped the wires, but basically I'm going to sort of start again. And I think I'm going to be a lot happier doing that. I'm going to maybe put the wiring in waterproof boxes and stuff and make this bug really quite functional, because I really love the engineering of doing stuff to make stuff function. That's why I love drag racing, because it's not so much about the racing, it's more about developing the machines. So this is going to be a functional off-road Baja Bug. And, this would be much more effective with better side cutters, I reckon. Or maybe an angle grinder. That's a fuse board I made. That is the actual standard fuse box out of it. I don't know why I didn't just get another one of them with continental fuses in. No, they're continental fuses. Anyway, they're crap. These aren't that great, so commitment. I was thinking about taking the front beam off and all the steering and suspension, but then I decided no, I'm just going to cover everything in stone guard or some sort of Raptor or something. But now I've got this far into it, I think I am going to take it off. Right, this is something I need to address. I need to get stuck into this, but as you can see, someone has just filled this whole lot with bog, so I dread to think what I'm going to find when I get into that. And the other thing is, I've got to make a decision here. Someone, instead of putting wing beading on it, they've filled all this up with bog as well, which is horrible. I really like wing beading, it looks nice, but it's going to be a lot of work for me to actually get that off and sort it out properly. I'm not really sure if these wings are going to come off without damaging them. I think they can do. I think I can actually get all that off and clean it up well enough to actually make these go back on with some proper wing beading. But it's all a lot of work, so I just got to decide how much time and effort I want to spend right now. I also need to decide how far I am actually going with stuff, because if you make too nice a job of it, you don't want to take it off road and abuse it. But I think what I'm going to do, it's still sand in here, there's a little bit of rot there needs addressing. This car has actually been in the sea, so it's actually doing pretty well considering it's like 57 years old and it's been in the sea. But anyway, I think I'm going to take the front beam off so that I can get to all this, weld that up, paint this all nice. But what I am going to do is I'm actually probably going to put stone guard or some sort of protection on it to actually, so it seals it a bit more and it does take more abuse, and actually do the wheel arches with that as well, and all up anywhere where it's, there you go, there's a prime example of where it needs it before I paint it. Yeah, I got quite carried away today. I haven't actually filmed much of it because I've been really engrossed in it, but I really should film this next bit because I'm pretty sure it's something what people who haven't done this before would be interested in, and that's taking the front beam axle off. Right, and it's off. So I did get a bit carried away today. I got the front beam off of it. I've got headlights, lights, wiring loom, wipers, basically everything out of the way so that I can actually make a half decent job of painting everything. Like I said before, the bodywork's not going to get a proper paint, but I've got everything off it so I can make my life easier. I'm going to make a new dashboard for it because I'm not having that stupid stereo in it anymore. I may as well, now I've got this far, is actually take the transaxle out of it so that I can get that all nice and clean in there. I might not do that, I'm not sure, but it'd be a shame not to, seeing as I've come this far now. Right, so that's that then. That's where I'm up to at the moment. Well, actually, it's not where I'm up to at the moment because I've done a lot more than that. I have taken the front beam off and I have filmed it, so there'll be a video all about that. But now, next stage, I'm going to crack on with this door. I'm going to rub this door down and experiment with it with the paint job I want to do. So I'm going to show you how I do that and what I'm going to do to it. So make sure you subscribe, like, share, comment and all that good stuff. And have a great day.